This is it. This may be the longest part of Ace Attorney we've ever recorded yet.
Don't worry, Jovah, I'll break that record in the next playthrough.
Okay, Shiroi, get ready.
I'm sure you're right. I'm ready now, Nick.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Is your body ready?
I can't believe, Maya. Of all people, you're the one drawing out the trial. How could you betray me like this?
yeah. Sorry. My Iris Saltpaper is most hated character.
I would expect something like this from Iris. Not you, Maya.
Don't worry, Pedro. You'll make up for it in like 9 years.
Just before it happened, I think I saw some red lights. 3 of them.
One was red, the other was yellow, and the other was green.
No,
You
all
just said
3 were
3 red lights.
I thought I'd ask for help, but... She wasn't dead, though, and she struck back at the enemy behind her.
Why is it that it's the
Did she now?
killer who has to stay alive long enough to attack?
Suddenly the red lights went out and the whole area was dark. Just at that moment, there was a horrible scream.
Manfred von Karma?
Right after that, Dahlia collapsed and I lost consciousness.
And it really was a horrible scream. Seriously, that was a terrible acting performance.
No, actually, they recycled the William screen.
These red lights.
Yeah.
I thought you said you don't remember seeing them.
Teo, you keep going small. Just go to King's Quest 5 devs.
I'm sorry.
Liar!
I saw them, but then they disappeared all of a sudden.
So it was Pennywise. Have you looked into his deadline?
Things break, Wright. Even the best of theories.
Oh, trust me, I know all too well.
Our proof that the proof that our will cannot break just broke.
Also,
Who was it that
insert,
stabbed Misty Faye? It looks like you still can't prove it.
also insert topical joke about Matt.
Maya is telling the truth this time. I know it. So there you go, guys. The final...
Sure she is.
Actually, she is. The final testimony in the trilogy is all basic truth. The rest is up to me.
Ironic, I guess.
Well then, Mr. Wright.
Well, it's
I'd
Maya.
say that's a first, but then we had Sister Bikini.
I know,
Proceed
right?
with your final cross-examination of the series. Witness.
That's what makes this tough,
What is
Shiroi,
it with
though.
you? What is it with you people being honest now?
Can't make it
It's
too
almost
easy for you.
Yeah, sure. It's almost like we're in the court of law or something.
I know! People are actually
Get
acting
this
like we're in a
realistic
court of
shit
law.
out of here.
Well, Shiroi, correct me if I'm wrong, Shiroi. But I'm pretty sure we never actually saw any of these witnesses take the oath with putting their hand on the Bible or anything.
Isn't that
Well,
easy?
that's because it's based on the Japanese system, which functions differently.
Hold it!
Well, but they don't they have an equivalent of that though?
No, remember, Japan doesn't have a religion or state.
Well, I know, but
I
don't
get
they-
that,
don't-
but I think
don't-
they have
aren't
an oath
Aren't the
system.
witnesses, asked to make an oath of truth or something? At least that.
I hope so.
I'm pretty sure they are. Anyway,
It's true, Nick.
I believe you. I have a
I mean,
witness I can trust for
know.
once.
I mean, if they don't, no wonder that country almost collapsed under the weight of its own stupidity.
Well, again, Japan also has one of the lowest crime rates ever. I think it's because of how stupid the law system is.
It appears that the darkness has proven to be your undoing, Wright. Okay, good. Can you seriously come up with a better insulting nickname? That's lame.
That's his catchphrase, though.
It's still
Besides,
lame.
I've got to use this testimony to prove that Goto committed the murder. I
There are
really
such
wish I
things as
didn't
lame
have to do it.
catchphrases, Jovah.
And lame insults.
Yeah,
For
especially
some
if you use
reason,
the same one over and over and over.
I get the feeling that some part of Goto actually wants me to.
If he tells the truth, I'm gonna shoot that fucker.
With what?
Optic
your
laser
ID?
hyper combo.
Of course. Hold it! You know, actually, if Goto makes it into a Marvel vs. Capcom game, I could totally see that happening. Light shining in the dark. I don't think you can make a mistake about that. Who knows, Yuri? He was technically an Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 as a card.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I can't say for certain.
And he is a skin for Phoenix in that game.
And I can't tell you for sure they were from Mr. Goto's mask either.
Sorry, I nearly fell over.
I
fell.
don't
Wait,
get the
aren't you
feeling
sitting
she's
down?
covering for him anymore.
No, I was standing up to
but-
get a drink.
But just after that, you turned towards the lights and called for help.
Yeah, and then I sat down on my bed.
Isn't that because you thought the lights were coming from Mr. Godo's mask?
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe that's what I was thinking at the time.
Maybe.
But I can't remember, after all.
This video is officially sponsored by whatever Drips is drinking.
Honestly, it sounded more like he was taking a piss there.
In front of him. No, I think he's drinking through a straw.
Maya's
No,
life
I was
wasn't
just pour.
Yeah, let's just focus here.
After complaints about my drinking through cans, I just decided to pour them in.
Anyway, there's no way she can remember the details of the scene perfectly.
So, what do?
We'll find something.
Alright then, let's go on with the testimony. What did you do when you saw the red lights? I panicked because my 360...
Hold it!
Actually,
That blood.
wrong backup, Dwibs.
Was it Dahlia Hawthorne's blood?
So, oh,
Probably.
here you go.
At the moment. Well, that was green text, so I didn't read it.
Oh. See,
Yeah, this was
The
making a
last
joke.
text
Well,
was
no, Pedro, this was making a joke that what he said was different from the text on the screen.
It was a woman's voice.
So that was when the killer stabbed the victim from behind with the murder weapon.
maybe.
Spares.
So the true culprit was actually Uma Thurman.
Is that
Sure.
right?
Without
Sure,
a
why
doubt, Maya was in the middle of a really dangerous situation.
Situation.
Anyway, the victim was stabbed by the murder weapon.
True.
Godo.
What?
Go to blues.
Godo, please.
What happened after that? I'm waiting.
I'm thinking, alright?
Go to the hedgehog.
Hold it!
Congratulations.
Struck back.
Well,
How-
his hair works at least.
Struck back. How do you know that?
Cause I saw it, you dummy!
Oh, you're right. I didn't see it exactly,
Shut up, Maya.
but I could tell by the sounds of their breathing and movement. We
8 to
should
37.
we
8
should
to
knock
37.
Godo out and dye his hair blue.
Huh.
And also
Interesting.
the smell of blood.
You have witnessed more horror than any young lady should ever have to in one life. Or any man for that matter. Jeez, I don't think I'd be able to handle it.
Ugh.
So then, what did you do at that point?
I couldn't move.
What's Medusa in this now? What the hell's going on here?
Oh, so you mentioned Uma Thurman and Medusa, since she plays Medusa in that Perseus Jackson movie.
I could just barely make out their shadows moving in the dark, but I had no idea what to do.
Let's see.
Panic!
Yeah, when you're
Panic,
cornered
yes.
against a stone lantern against a woman who wants to frequently murder you. Could you see the red lights you mentioned earlier?
Yes, I think so. But
Uh-oh, here comes the butt.
Green text.
Hold it! They went out.
On a date.
yes, suddenly I couldn't see them at all.
Hmm.
What could it mean?
If the red lights were coming from Godo's mask, then... And they went out right in the middle of a fight.
Maybe the mask was damaged.
Hey, stop finishing my thoughts!
Or maybe it was knocked off.
Hmm.
Or maybe the batteries ran out, right, Trite?
How does that even work?
Or maybe those little red pinhead-looking lights just stopped working.
Yeah, what he said.
Maybe everyone has ESP.
What could have really happened then? Now that's gonna drive me
You're
crazy.
not questioning that people are reading your mind.
I've gotten used to it at this point. Hold it! Someday, my mind powers will work in the right direction. What do you mean by just
right.
at that moment?
I get it, right.
Do you mean the moment when the red lights went out?
Yes, that's right.
The scream that you heard then, was it Dahlia Hawthorne?
Me.
No, it was Rosy Petals.
I don't think so.
She's telling the truth.
I'm pretty sure. It was a man's voice.
Dun dun dun.
What?
What?
There we go.
So then, that scream came from the killer?
That's got to be it.
Are you sure?
I'm Makar now.
I think. Dahlia Hawthorne must have taken the blade and attacked the killer with it.
And then the killer let out a scream of pain, eh?
After that, the killer stole the blade back and delivered the final blow, I guess.
Traded hands.
I guess I think I know. Well, Mr. Wright.
Would you please make any sense out of this? Because I can't.
It does sound helpful to my case.
It seems to make sense to me.
Oh.
Somehow.
It sounds like a reasonable deduction, but I still wonder. I'm sorry to say this, but that interpretation would create an enormous contradiction.
Rhyming. That makes sense. After all, my deductions are almost certainly never correct.
Wow, he's really learning the hang of this. Remember, the testimony she just gave, before the killer let out a scream, Maya said she had already been splattered by the victim's blood.
I thought you were going to say, I think, because that's the last thing she said.
In other words, the blade in the staff had already been plunged into the victim.
Ha!
Oh, is that right?
She couldn't have struck back with a sword that was already stuck in her body, unless she pulled it right out, and well, she ain't Cloud Strife.
She's Rancic from Time Force. You know, he pulls swords out of his knee.
The weapon must have been something other than the staff!
If you're so sure about that, then don't keep us waiting any longer, Trite.
Alright. There's only one thing I can think of.
I can't.
That could have been used as the weapon here.
Godo's hair?
If
If Dahlia Hawthorne had already been stabbed in the back by the staff, what could she have used to strike back at the killer?
The badge.
The badge. The Magatama.
The hanging scroll? The photo of Elise? Iris'
The
sword?
gravy.
Weather data.
The shitter.
Shichishito.
No, the Shichishito was back in the temple.
Went past the
Take
dagger.
that!
Oh, I forgot about that.
Naturally, the dagger the killer brought to the scene of the crime.
It was Prosecutor Godo with the dagger in the garden. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting your Cluedo Master, Judge Udgy.
This dagger was found at the crime scene stuck into a pine tree.
Yes, the detective found that this morning and brought it to me.
You got a pay raise for that, I'm sure.
Nah, cut it again.
Jeez.
You forgot to wear gloves.
Dahlia Hawthorne struck back at the killer with this, and she managed to wound him as well!
Well, crap.
Objection! Just because he let out a scream doesn't mean that he was wounded.
He could have fallen over.
For all we know, the blood of the dagger could have been from the victim.
True. That's a very good argument. Objection! Huh. Have you forgotten that the blood has already been tested, though? Oh, yeah.
Hey, that wasn't on my autopsy report.
Sorry,
Here's the updated one.
This time it's my turn to update stuff. Since we've learned it wasn't the victim's blood, it must be the killer's blood. Unless it's Maya's blood, and thank God it isn't. Huh! The killer must have wounds somewhere on his body.
Alright then, I admit it.
Alright, Godo, strip.
But you really want me to take my pants off? So you're saying the blood on this dagger belongs to the killer?
Yup.
Yes.
Exactly.
If you have nothing to hide, then there's no problem, right? Go ahead.
But there's women here.
A DNA analysis
okay.
of the
It's
blood
okay. It's
will
okay.
prove
Well,
it
we
beyond
can go
a
into
shadow
another
of a
room
doubt.
if that's the problem.
And yes, Mr. Godo, it would prove that it's your blood.
Alright, chill out.
Nice, very trite. Order! Order in the court! I said order!
Is this the end? Have I done it?
Chill.
Can this music be more Kirby?
No, actually, no, it could be more electric guitar-y. Yay!
As per Dwibs' request, I got it in, Dwibs.
Yay! Ha. Let me ask you something, Trite. Who got the electric guitar out here? Let's just say
Clavier
that
Gavin.
right now that I'm the killer. Who?
Clavier
someone
Gavin.
Someone get him out of here.
Do you really think I'd be stupid enough to leave evidence like that?
Yes.
What?
What about it?
Just think for a second. This dagger was found this morning by a detective and brought to me.
Uh-oh.
There was already a bloodstain on it, correct?
True.
But even so, I was the one who brought this dagger here to the courtroom.
Uh-oh.
Yes, what does that prove? Well, if I really were the killer, I could have washed the blade off and then planted another person's blood on it.
That's the point.
Unless you want purposely to get caught, which you gave all the hints to be that intention, so...
It can't be.
It is.
There's gonna be another problem, though, that comes up later.
In any case, there's one thing I can guarantee, Trite.
Uh-oh.
That blood, it doesn't belong to me.
I'm not sure about that.
Not a chance!
Fancy pants.
What?
Cha. In any event, it seems to be established that the killer was wounded.
I had him. The cornered theme was playing.
Alright then, witness.
Wait a minute.
What's the problem now?
Everything. I know I probably shouldn't say this, but
Then shut up.
there's a big contradiction in Nick's explanation.
Wait, what?
I'm
Maya!
doing my job.
Wait,
Fuck.
hold on. It's usually me that does this.
This dagger. You said that it wounded the killer.
It didn't, it killed the killer.
Kill.
That's right.
But.
I like big butts and I can't lie.
If
Don't
Mr.
call
Godo
me.
had really been cut with the dagger,
I say smiling.
yeah. His clothes should be bloody or have a rip in them, right?
He could have changed his clothes.
What would
Maybe he just changed his clothes. That'd solve the contradiction pretty easily.
What are you talking about? It's not
She
that
tries
simple
so
at all.
hard.
It is, you moron.
Hold on.
Remember back to the day of the murder.
Murder.
Everyone that was in a temple side got trapped there.
True.
Ah, that's right. And once the bridge was fixed and the police headed for the inner temple, I'm surprised he could fix that bridge within a short amount of time.
We have Gumshoe to thank for that, surprisingly.
Yay.
Yay. Mr. Godo was already there waiting for them.
Basically, she has a point.
He never had a chance to change his clothes.
She has a point. If he was trapped there and she was telling the truth about him finding pearls and cheering her up. Ah! Maya!
Someone shoot Phoenix.
Of all the times for Maya to have the smartness, objection! Well, maybe he brought a change of clothes with him.
What, in his pocket?
She's obviously covering.
She has a point, though, here.
No one could have predicted
know,
the lightning
but-
strike that shut down the bridge. Why would anyone have brought a change of clothes unless they shit themselves?
And even then, how can somebody predict that?
Well, there was...
Wait a minute,
Wait,
they
wait,
were out
hold
there
on.
They were out there for so long. Where were the bathrooms?
Did the judge take smart pills during the last recess? God dang it, Edgy, you're smarter than usual. Then again, I guess this is character
Everything
development?
about this game is making me uncomfortable.
Well then, maybe the killer took off his clothes before he committed the murder.
Once he froze to death.
That way he wouldn't get any blood on them.
But then the blood would come off on his...
I've got no
Objection!
comment about that. I'm sorry.
That's impossible, right?
And now you have me picturing Raiden running nude with his blade.
Of course.
You know how cold it gets up. You know how cold it gets up there late at night.
Actually, I imagine it now. Godo voiced by Quentin Flynn.
Phoenix, turn the Nintendo DS off right now.
Now,
Why?
2 minutes with no clothes on, you'd be frozen solid.
God dang it, they're using logic against me!
Sorry.
Did they not teach that at lawyer school?
This is supposed to be a video game. Get this realism
hang
out
on
of
a
here.
minute. I was a lawyer, so I should know that.
And you apparently do now.
I knew you weren't tough enough to finish this.
Ugh.
Right now, if Mia Fey were here, she'd slap you.
Huh?
Oh, get over your girlfriend.
If Mia Fey were here, she would have closed the book on this case already.
Well, for all intents and purposes, sir, I'm not Mia Fey. Wait a minute, if Mia Fey were here...
Come on, Wright! Can you do it or not?
Mia Fey did this in a cave with table scraps!
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
How about it, Mr. Wright? You've accused Mr. Godo of being the killer. But can you prove it? Have you got even one piece of evidence?
Badger.
The question isn't whether I can prove it or not. Oh boy, here we go.
It's whether I can reach out to the... No,
The fact is, I have to prove it. That's the only choice I have. How can I, though?
pull stuff out your ass.
I was taught that it's one of the rules of being a lawyer.
Lying?
No, finding the truth. Anyway, now. I can prove it. Here we go.
Oh, God.
Ha! I'm going to bring your magnificent vengeance to fruition, just as you want it!
What?
Oh, heck yeah.
That's good. Fighter to the bitter end, right?
Also, objection theme from the first game?
No, remix!
Slightly remixed.
That's right,
Also,
no.
this is the cornered theme.
This is my favorite cornered theme. Corner 2004.
Slash 2001. Since there's just one piece of evidence that can prove your point.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Why don't we go for the
full
unlimited
F-bar.
penalty?
What else to end it on? Are you trying to pressure me, Mr. Godo?
Yeah, duh, I'm a prosecutor, you idiot.
Because it doesn't matter to me. I've got the one piece of evidence I need. The ultimate music track.
But I thought I had the ultimate music track.
Sorry, mine has drum remix on a Nintendo DS.
Give me a break. You got nothing, Trite.
Dude, you are really new here. When this theme is playing, I can't lose. So, what do I do at a time like this?
Bluff the shit out of it.
Nope, no more bluffing. It's simple. I've got to think outside the box and approach this from a different angle. This is where I become the true Ace Attorney, with pure base logic.
Alright then. Alright then, Mr. Wright. Let's hear what you've got. Fast, I'm running out of cider here.
There's one thing I've demonstrated in the previous cross-examination.
That is?
The killer was wounded. That was proven by the blood on the dagger.
Okay.
But
Hold on, Judge. Let him finish.
we decided it was impossible for it to have hidden such a wound.
We're getting there.
If it had been cut by a dagger, there should have been a bloodstain on his clothing.
Unless... Oh.
Unless...
Since the mask fell off, he could have been wounded to his eyes.
There's one place. One place the killer could have hidden his wound.
Bold.
Sorry.
That too.
I know, it's juvenile, but god damn it.
What did you say?
I know what the game's getting at, but yeah, still. Hidden?
That would require a very thorough search.
Hey, I'm not taking my pants off here.
I want full cavity searches on everybody.
This is it. My last stand. I need to think about this from a different angle than down there.
Godo, bend over.
I don't need to think about why there were no bloodstains on his clothing.
Wait, Jovah, if this is the last stand, does that mean Brett Ratner's directing this case?
Don't know. I need to show how he hid the wound. Now, what
An
piece of
accidental
evidence do we have that shows that?
It's the end of the line. The final stop, Trite. Let's hear what you've got. Sorry.
God, I love.
Where's this location where you say the killer hit his wound?
It really just goes to show that Noriyuki Iwadare had the right idea, though.
The badge.
It's like, hey, if you can't beat the best cornered theme, remix it.
Let's see.
Now, what piece of evidence proves it, guys?
I have no idea.
I know where the wound is hidden.
I thought actually no, the Apollo Justice one was more of a one that's like it.
Take that!
Ha! I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you do.
And frankly, I don't need to know. What I do know is that you'll never be half the lawyer she was. Isn't that right? That's right. What was that just now?
Aha! They're working now!
You get to hit in a monologue.
My powers! They're finally working!
It can't be.
Yes, it can! I can hear Godo's
Still hasn't lost
thoughts.
the defense lawyer attachment.
You're living on through him? That's disgusting.
Well, it's suddenly...
Okay, so now he's gonna start dating Phoenix.
Even as we speak,
Please no.
you're still hiding the wound.
Where did you show?
Okay, guys, listen to
you
this now.
prevented me from shipping. Jesus, that's slow-mo.
It's beneath your mask!
Yeah, even his mask is.
Also, that echoed objection.
Yeah, too bad it was a bit slow-mo.
It's awesomeness. During the fight, the red lights given off by the killer suddenly disappeared.
I thought you said it's cool slow-mo.
And now Corner 2004 variation. Basically, Dwebs, the actual pursuit theme of this game is called Caught. People just mistake Cornered for, well, pursuit themes because Cornered is that awesome. Seconds later, the killer gave out a scream.
At least this is on the DS remix. If it was on the GBA, it would sound like farts.
That's right. Your mask went flying off your face!
I can imagine it now.
Mr. Godo, would you mind removing your mask?
No one cared who I was until I put on the mask.
If
you have a dagger wound under there somewhere, then I'd say this whole case is solved, and you get a breakdown.
Oh.
Jesus! He exploded.
Ouch.
Mind blown, literally.
And now my throat will never be the same.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, I mean, one last coffee for old time's sake or some shit.
Not yet.
Just now, I saw a spirit in you.
He lives in
channel,
you.
though.
He lives in me.
Well, that's the best song from the second movie, to be honest.
It's all the...
I never liked you.
Gee, I never guessed.
6 years ago. You helped the woman who put me to sleep by hiding her bottle of poison.
Sorry about that. I
Shut
have
up,
no
I'm
idea.
monologuing here.
I think Godo's short-circuiting.
And then, while I was sleeping, you let Mia die.
But...
Don't interrupt me, I'm talking here. But you didn't care. You just kept living your pathetic, happy-go-lucky life.
Yes, as a normal human being would.
You even had the nerve to follow in her footsteps as a lawyer.
But
Never mind the fact you started at the same time as she did.
Jeez.
I can never forgive you. That's what I thought.
Eh? That's what you thought?
Mr. Godo.
Shut up.
Shut up, Mokuba.
But I was wrong about you. I knew it from the very beginning.
Well, if you knew it from the very beginning, what was the point of all this?
Hey, I'm monologuing here.
Emotional weakness.
The truth is, the only person I could never find it in my heart to forgive was Shu Takumi. Was me.
Oh.
Yeah, they changed that bit in the script. You? Yourself?
I get it. The whole point of this murder wasn't to take revenge on Dahlia. It was to make Phoenix. It was to make Phoenix learn something.
Me and no one else.
He finally admits it.
At this point, this isn't even a court of law. It's a shrink office.
I try to avert my eyes from the truth, to escape from the harshness of reality.
Finally.
Alright, Godo. Oh, sorry, Godo. Time's up. We'll continue next week, okay?
I just couldn't face Mia's death head on, so I ran.
Got another $100.
Now, Godo, tell me about these blackouts of you.
I hid behind them. My true name. It wasn't even all that cool of a name anyway.
No, I like Godo.
I meant the Diego one.
Yeah.
I couldn't even deal with being a defense attorney anymore, so I quit.
But you saved Maya.
Shut up!
Godo, this is the part where you redeem yourself.
Yeah, that was my plan. Sorry, I don't want to go off script. Up until just now, anyway.
Oh.
What do you mean?
Because now he's gonna try to kill her all of a sudden.
Are you listening, Maya?
Yes, I am.
If I really wanted to save you, then there's one person I should have gone and talked to right away.
Who would that be?
I
police?
wonder.
The police, maybe?
The cops.
Yes, tell the cops that a deranged evil spirit is coming after her.
Talking...
Well,
Talking
the
about
exorcist,
me?
man.
But I didn't do it.
Yep, he's talking about Phoenix.
I tried to get the help of Iris and your bloody mother. But I closed my eyes to the most important man involved.
And I ended up involved.
Congratulations, Godo.
On the bad
It's
side of a
fucking late.
bridge.
Do you know why? The real reason?
No. Why?
Why indeed. I suppose I wasn't really interested in saving you at all.
I just did it for the lulz.
Huh? Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
you're-
in reality, like, when you look at this, he did this for himself, really.
I think I was
More
just
like because, yeah,
This is
also
my
with
own
me
broken
because
soul.
he was also seeing Mia in there or some shit.
I was trying to make up for the fact that I couldn't save Mia.
Either
Nothing
way,
more.
it was purely for selfish reasons.
That's why I let you walk right
why
into a
is he
situation
popular
that I knew
again?
was dangerous.
Hey, we're getting there, Shiroi, we're getting there.
Forgive me. I know it's kind of
Oh.
hard to redeem. I know it's kind of hard to redeem a character
You-
within like
you're
the last
wrong.
2 minutes.
You put your life on the line to save Maya.
So. Was it really for Maya's sake? Even I'm not really sure.
See, part of the reason why people like Godo is the fact that he's shrouded in ambiguity.
Ambiguity, Jovah.
See, basically,
What do you mean by that?
Right.
That night, in the darkness of the garden, when I saw her silhouette.
Oh, this part.
A part of me must have known the truth. A part of me must remember the last.
That's not a dagger, that's a fucking katana. Oh no, that's a staff. Okay, I
The
got
truth that it wasn't really Dahlia Hawthorne standing there right in front of me.
Oh no, it was totally alright.
Huh?
Could have been Misty Faye, or even that little girl.
Oh, jeez.
Ugh.
But I still picked up the blade. It was like I
Considering
was
the height,
dreaming.
if he swung that thing by Pearl, it would have decapitated her.
Jesus.
I'm not sure exactly what was going on in my mind at that point.
But
I'm just glad I couldn't see red. Was I really motivated by the pure desire to protect Maya Faye? Or was it something else? That bitch. Was it my hatred for a woman who had stolen everything from me 6 years earlier?
I'd say it was both.
Why'd she have a British accent there all of a sudden, Trey?
Eh? Oh, that wasn't me
Could've-
talking.
Could it have simply been a desire for revenge?
I think we're making progress today. Now, could you?
And now, I don't know anything anymore.
Now, could you
What am
please
I
tell me
fighting
what
for?
you? Could you please tell me what you see in this figure?
I did learn something in a day, however.
We're gonna show you a series of ink blots.
Yes.
I finally realized that I was the arrogant one.
I actually really like
Totally.
the way I actually really like the way Problem Child 3 made fun of that thing. What is that? This Junior? It's an ink blot, and this? It's another ink blot. It's another ink blot, lady. How many more times do I have to tell you?
Oh,
The stupid vanity of defeating you in the courtroom.
Godo, you are far from the first prosecutor who has had that stupid fantasy.
You were the one who made me realize, Ma.
Ollie.
Basically, it comes down to this. Godo wanted to beat Phoenix Wright in court because he saw the old him in Phoenix because, well, again, he taught Mia what she knew, and Mia, in her own way, turned to Phoenix. When he was blaming Phoenix, he was blaming himself, in a way. He's just too prideful and arrogant to show it.
The world will turn to Wright.
Yep.
In that one moment, I understood everything.
You know, Mia, you could have talked to him while you were here earlier. You could have helped us.
Oh, well, remember, Pedro, this trial was for us to prove that we can do it without Mia.
Well, any of the previous trials.
I think you already know this.
No, I don't even talk about that. I'm just saying I would have.
Diego Armando.
What?
I'm just saying if it was me.
No idea.
Oh, wait, hold on, important scene.
Go ahead.
Mr. Armando.
Actually, no, I prefer Godo better.
I believe in you.
What?
I know you were trying to save me.
Are you sure about that?
In
You're
the
too
end,
nice.
in the end, it's up to the player to decide. Which
Well,
is
even oh god.
Thanks.
Aw, you see, Maya, you moved Diego.
your wound. It's bleeding.
No, it's not that, Phoenix. It's something else.
Yeah, fuck it.
It's bloody tears. Cue the Castlevania music.
Did you forget already? In my world, the color red doesn't exist.
So you can't see Proto Man?
Or zero. These must be my tears.
Oh.
What have you been drinking?
Tears?
About maybe what's the name?
Ever
Ginger.
since I woke up from my coma.
Either that
think
or
I've been waiting
drinking a
for this
certain
very
amount of
long.
caffeine makes you cry blood.
No, wait, guys, I got it. It's the sheep from Casino Royale. He cries tears.
It's
So
because
sorry.
it's because of his wound.
Mr. Armando.
You do well to remember this, Maya.
Oh boy, here it comes, the famous line.
The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over.
And it is finally over.
But we're not even halfway through the part yet.
You're gonna carry that weight.
Sounds really quiet in here all of a sudden. This time, it really is all over. It's over, isn't it?
You stole my joke.
I didn't.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh boy, here
that's
it
right.
comes.
I forgot about you. Yeah.
Although you weren't directly involved in the murder, tampering with the body and the crime scene is a serious offence in itself.
I understand, Your Honor.
I'm surprised you didn't insert that bit in, Jovah. You know, that it's over, isn't it, from Steven Universe.
Eh.
Mr. Armando explained that to me very carefully.
Dang, Iris, you're doing that even willing to...
I knew the risk and I willingly cooperated anyway.
All to protect my girl she barely knew. Dang it.
Can we just not send her to jail purely on the
Very
fact that she's
well.
not her sister?
I know, right?
Before I hand down my verdict, is there anything you'd like to say?
Yes,
Oh.
we keep one of the few good people in that family around.
About
No.
that, Shiroy, about that. We're about to get some good news.
There is one thing. I'd like to say something to Mr. Wright.
Huh?
I want to apologize to you.
You are so kind.
Was I then?
You're too pure for this world.
Apologize to me? For what?
Why do you think, you moron?
The case 6 years ago, of course.
Why would you want to apologize to me for that?
Oh no, Dahlia's theme's played. Dahlia was really two people.
Well, they share the same theme, because twins.
Shouldn't she have had a more livelier theme? Or maybe a little bit more livelier. Just remembered. Weren't you poisoned by your own lover?
Not exactly, but yeah, something like that. More like she stomped on my heart and crushed it after I ate the residue of poison for her sake. Even now, 6 years later, I can hardly believe it. Mia was actually a pretty good lawyer back then. She was going to do it. She was planning to kill me.
Phoenix is one of the luckiest sons of bitches in any video game.
You mean between swallowing poison, getting knocked out with a taser, getting hit with a fire hydrant, oh, and and falling...
Surviving the fall into the river, but it's notorious for killing people.
Yeah,
whatever, guys. Ethan fell from the top of a building, and yet somehow didn't break his back or anything.
Wait, hold on.
Tom Cruise once hung off an aeroplane and moved in mid-flight.
Wait, hold on. What do you mean?
On takeoff, sorry.
My sister.
Oh boy.
You only met twice.
You only met twice. No, that's not a very good. You only met twice. The sequel to You Only Live Twice.
Oh, come on, Terry. I didn't figure it out yet.
Huh?
Well, I guess, but why?
Oh, Tio.
Again, this is the oddest transposition of the Parent Trap I've ever seen.
Let's just say, Tio, this has kind of been foreshadowed with a running thing from each case.
The first time you met was on that fateful day. The day she poisoned Mr. Armando in the cafeteria of this very courthouse. The next time you met her was 6 months later.
It's nothing personal. You were just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
You met her again on the day that she stole your cold medicine.
Fucking bitch.
She's almost as bad as DL6 in its entirety.
And Doug Swallow was killed.
Oh, that's right, him. Yeah, the expendable guy.
No way! It just...
Mr. Red Shirt.
It can't be true. I mean, during our whole relationship... during our whole relationship, we were, we did things.
The woman that you thought was Dahlia Hawthorne wasn't actually my sister.
It was her sister.
Huh? It wasn't Dahlia?
I'm slightly confused.
This is gonna be a mindfuck.
Not really. It's actually very simple.
Let's just say, Shura, you may have called what's about to happen.
It's actually very simple.
I hope you can forgive me one day, Feeny.
There you go.
Zeroy, remember how you said that Phoenix might get together with Iris as a coping mechanism for Dahlia?
Iris was the one that Phoenix actually fell in love with. There you go.
Yep.
That's right.
So there you go. Turns out Phoenix was right all those years ago. The Dahlia he met would have never done that. There you go.
For 6 months.
Oh, it gets even better though. Tio, your question is going to be answered.
Wait a minute. So that thing I called a long-ass time ago was actually right.
But why? Yes. Why would you do such a thing?
Which one?
Because love.
The one you mentioned.
You mean about them getting together?
Yeah.
No,
I'm thinking something different, never mind.
You mean the one where it turned out that Dahlia was a fake?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yes.
My sister was trying to get it back as soon as she possibly could. Because of the police investigation and their surveillance.
But then turns out that the bottle of poison didn't have poison at all. It was just a vessel for a two-lover.
Really.
So that's why you...
My sister, from the beginning, she was prepared for the worst.
Why am I not surprised?
So her sister could stay in hiding, she posed as her sister?
Not just that. Prepared for the worst.
She thought that you might somehow discover the truth.
Huh.
That's why she was always ready to deal with you at a moment's notice.
Well,
very charming.
Dang.
How lovely.
Yes, deal with him.
You mean she was ready to kill me, don't you? Boy, don't I have ever so great luck with the women.
If I was the judge right now, it's like, this, you guys can probably do this on your own. Can I go, please?
Phew. No, the judge is up there with popcorn. She already had so much to answer for. I begged her not to do it, and she agreed to give me a chance.
Aww.
Mr. Wright, the court is not a place for you to solve your personal issue.
Well, this one may be serious, Your Honor. Wait,
Hey, I'm the judge here.
you came to get the bottle pendant back from me in her place?
Where did my Canadian brother come from?
But I couldn't get you to give it back.
Your mother, who else?
I felt it's something even as simple as that.
It was, and that was how I met my mother.
Funny.
6 months passed, and I still couldn't get it back from you.
Oh boy, here we go.
Finally, my sister couldn't wait any longer.
And tragedy struck.
So she killed a guy just to get to that fucking bottle.
Well, that's the thing. She originally was just planning to kill Phoenix, but then Doug Swallow took Phoenix's cold medicine off of him, which prevented him from being killed, and that's when Dahlia resorted to killing Doug to frame Phoenix.
This is the first time that had ever
What
happened.
an asshole!
Well, remember, Tail, this bitch would kill you if you just look her funny.
And remember, she started off actually just trying to get revenge for the Fey Clan before she went rogue.
She's like the group of boys from the anime Hanayori Dango.
Harry, what?
Uh-oh.
It's an anime, dude.
So,
go
wait,
search for it.
what was it that Dahlia noticed? Here we go.
My feelings for you.
Oh, how dare she love you!
Mercs are orthodox.
How dare you have feeling?
If I found out she was planning to kill you,
I'll never understand feelings, me as the she-devil.
I would have done whatever was necessary to stop her,
Uh-oh. Whatever was necessary.
even if it means her life. Or mine.
Wow. That's love, alright.
So, Phoenix, you've managed to literally make two twins literally be willing to kill each other.
How do you feel about it?
Somebody actually loves me.
That's not your. That's the priority here.
Well, it's
Oh,
the
anyway,
that
though.
counts, I guess.
My feeling towards you, they changed.
Oh, let me guess.
Yeah.
Now you see you more as a friend.
No, they
I
blossom.
love you even more.
I have something to say to you, too.
I quit as the main protagonist. Goodbye.
Yes?
You really are the person I always thought you were.
Closure.
One of the most touching scenes. Thanks, you know, I was thinking...
Go on.
The Dahlia I saw up there, up on the witness stand, I don't think that was really her.
And he was right.
Oh! What?
Yeah, the Dahlia I know could never have said those kinds of terrible things.
And here we thought he was just a fool in love.
Yep, you guys were fooled yourselves. Maybe she was like, I don't know, a fake or something.
Yeah. Shadow the Hedgehog and shit.
Faker. I think you're the fake
okay,
demon around here.
If only they knew. Phoenix was right.
Well, it actually kind of works considering Iris's hair is black, whereas Dahlia's hair is red. So
I still
how
believed
exactly could
in
you
you.
mix them up?
Hair dye is a thing that exists.
I know, but
Phoenix is the one I can't see.
But
Red.
here's the thing, Shiroi. She would have also had to dye her eyebrows.
She did.
That's very difficult.
Not if you're skilled enough in makeup, trust me.
Also, not if you get them done professionally.
So, there
That
you
too,
go!
yeah.
Now, those two are pretty much set up to be a couple, as per the end credits, you'll see.
How many cups of darkness have I drank over the years? Even
Speaking
I
as
don't
somebody
know.
who has to wear different color wigs, is it possible?
Now, I'll tell you though. Nah, sorry, Jovah. Yamazaki's just gonna let her rot in prison for all we know.
Shut up about that. I'll bring it up later.
This one here
I'll
is the
bring it up
greatest.
later. I'll bring it up later. For now, close your seed.
Sure.
Don't you think so, Phoenix? Right?
He called me by my name.
Yeah, this closure is just as weightless as it was in Casper's Spirit at the beginning, sorry.
Never mind.
Ah, weightless, because Casper's a ghost.
No, that's because in that... Oh, really?
There you go.
Yes, I think you're right.
I didn't make that too bitter for you, did I?
Nope, it's just right.
The purpose of this trial was to rule on the murder of the victim. At least do him, not turn this court into a bloody cafe.
Or a soap opera.
At some point, I expect you will be tried for your role as an accomplice on this case. I will also try the bailiff for not realizing that he's turned this court of law into a freaking cafe.
I understand, Your Honor.
Very well. On the charge of murder, I hereby find the defendant.
That reminds me, Jovah. How many years does she get? Iris, I mean.
We have no idea.
Guilty.
Yay, not combating.
Court is now adjourned.
Basically, guys, one of the things that fans are wondering is where the hell is Iris?
Come on, really? The last case of a trilogy.
There's a reason for that.
Can we... Oh, come on. Now that's just ruined the game.
It's traditions.
So, I guess it's all over.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's all.
Yeah. Yamazaki ate the key to her cell. We'll never see her again.
The way everything ended, was justice really served?
Yeah, that's
The
my
man
head
who
canon for now
risked
on.
his life to save Maya is being sent to prison by my own hand.
Well, my gavel.
So, Phoenix actually found love and, Miyazaki's
Lost
gonna
it
take her away.
immediately.
I'll talk more about that when we get to after the credits.
Of course, justice was served.
Oh, hi, Megan.
Mia!
Hi.
I'm proud of you, Phoenix.
I did it completely all on my own.
Sure
He did, and I helped.
Your
They
defense
didn't.
was truly brilliant.
But I couldn't save Mr. Armando!
What a tragedy.
He couldn't save himself.
The man who
Yeah,
cared
it
so
was.
deeply for you, your boyfriend.
Dweebs, it's funny. He could save so many others, but he couldn't save himself.
Himself.
You're wrong, Phoenix.
Well, then again, I guess if he dies, he can be with you in the afterlife.
Just like Darth Plagueis, he had it coming anyway, so who gives a shit?
You did save Diego. You saved him in the only way possible.
By
By
bluffing the
kicking
shit
his
out of it.
No, by bringing him to justice! You mean, with that verdict?
I think one day you'll understand too.
You're just happy because he's gonna die and he can be with you, aren't you?
Oh, it is inevitable, Joe.
Hmm.
Phoenix, I want you to remember one thing.
That Pearl's
Never
out of a
fight a
job now that Godo's arrested and she can't give him his coffee anymore?
Just don't let her channel him.
Never fight a
Oh,
man
God.
during nature.
There's nothing more you can learn from me.
Yay! Rite of Passage finally cleared!
It only took us
Mia.
3 games.
Fitting. I'm the Luke Skywalker of the series.
So, how much does this practice he gets to do in Apollo justice?
Well, I'm sure he'll
None.
get to do quite a lot in it.
To be fair, Mia, you probably couldn't accomplish that because you were murdered.
Yeah.
It wasn't really fair.
Let's just say, Teo, Apollo's rite of passage is going to be complicated, and that's all I'll say for now.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll meet again.
Very
Because
well,
Mia showed up in the
Mia.
new games.
You've
Well-
got less of a chance of appearing in this than Iris.
I've
You
handled
mean Mia
lots
too?
of cases.
The ghost of
throughout
her
this.
being someone even Pearl or Maya being possessed.
Mia specifically, not yet.
Oh,
What does it really
Well,
mean
come on,
to
you
defend
know-
someone?
Don't worry, Theo. Other people get...
Phoenix, I got the definition for that. It means to defend them in a court of law. That's what it means to defend someone, you pretentious little...
Maya.
Also, I mean, come on, guys. It's very obvious what Mia means. It means she'll meet him in death.
Yeah,
Dang.
I'll see you in death.
Yeah.
Alright, anyway.
Your sister, Mia.
No,
Yes,
my sister is
Yeah,
named
my
Mama.
wait,
Of course it's named Mia.
my sister is called Mia. I wasn't aware of this. Sherry?
Oh. This is what she wrote. This is what she wrote back in my
Fuck you, I'm
notebook.
trying to sleep.
Don't worry, Phoenix will save everyone in the end.
And he did. By God, did he ever. Hey, I even saved Dahlia and gave her a proper punishment.
He's the right guy for the job. Come on, cut it out with that gloomy face. Can't you see? My sis, and me, my sis, and I'm sure Iris too.
We all did it together.
Perfect.
They're not gonna take credit, Pedro.
World.
So in the end, Phoenix gets all the bitches.
Yes.
Well, I guess he finally deserves something. How? How can you be so bright and chipper after all that's happened?
Ready to have it all stripped away from you in the next game.
You were brutally
Actually,
attacked. You even
it's
saw
stripped
your
him, like-
mother murdered.
You know, they stripped from him in like 3 months.
Not
Actually, yeah, there you go. I have actually 2 questions, but I'll save that for later.
Okay.
out!
Oh, hi, Francisca.
Francisca!
Yay.
Achtung, Phoenix!
Still as softy as always, Phoenix Wright.
Not Mr. Phoenix Wright for once, I see.
Hey,
Excellent
gee.
work, right?
Mr. Edgeworth, when did you get back?
The same time I did.
Oh, that's right! I guess no one filled her in on that.
I'm actually kind of sad. I'll never get to do my favorite German accent again.
Edgeworth and Francisca have been helping you out. Helping me out.
Helping you?
If these two hadn't been here on the first day of the trial...
Especially with that Canadian brother.
the defense wouldn't have gotten anywhere. Actually, if the prosecution had showed up in time, the Canadian judge was willing to just hand the victory to the defense.
Wow, but where were you, Nick? I heard he fell into a river and caught a nasty cold, which forced him to sleep all day.
It's a river that most people...
Everyone laughed and pointed at him.
Oh, that reminds me, Francis... Yes, he laid in bed shivering from his fever with Iris's hood pulled over his head.
Ouch. Talk about embarrassing, Nick. You definitely need more training.
That reminds me.
Anyway, thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. And you too, Francisca.
That reminds me, Francisca, don't you have a card that you're supposed to give to Phoenix or something the next time we saw him?
What's this? Oh, Larry.
Gotta give him closure too.
No, fuck off.
Mateo, the sad music is playing.
Larry? But still no gumshoe.
Well, yeah, technically he's jumping now.
Look at that. Oh, sorry.
What's up with the longer than usual face?
I realized something when I was reborn.
From the ashes.
Yes.
What, is Larry a phoenix now?
I realized that Larry was never of any use to anyone, not even once. Hold on, guys. He has self-awareness.
Boy, everyone's just getting
That's
their
not
big
true.
character development, aren't they?
Well, it's not
I
like
am
Larice was all that useful either. Or at least not all that was more useful.
Well, Larice did give us the helpful drawing. Wait, what? You're asking
One
me?
thing.
Well, Nick, is it true? I got a place in this world, right?
Oh, it's him. We need to
course you
present
do,
the final
Larry.
piece of evidence. Really?
Yeah, of course. Well,
Well,
remember...
let's just hit tail. Remember what happened in the first case. Things have come full circle. I knew it. Everyone would be better off if I were gone for good.
And we never saw Larry again.
No,
Laser 36, I guess.
Oh, yeah! Yeah, I got it!
Yeah, don't worry. Yamazaki-san said you'll be in the 6th game.
Those portraits you painted, they were really good. Isn't that right, Edgeworth? What? Me?
Why are you putting this down on me, right?
You don't work very well under pressure, do you, Edgy?
Yes, indeed. I certainly can't say that it's lacking resemblance.
I can. You really mean it? What about you, Francie? Did I draw you well too?
Don't you dare call me Francie!
Ah.
My beauty can't possibly be captured by a mere crayon.
Some dojins would like to say otherwise.
Claire.
I'm staring at you.
And puffing.
Nevertheless, I recognize the effort you put into it, and that's worth something.
Franziska
5.5
Bing.
So then you'll do it, like you promised. Don't push your luck, Larry. You would die.
Don't get carried away.
It's funny, because the book that makes him rich and famous is actually based off of Franziska.
Well, how about that? I guess painting portraits is the only thing I'm good at.
Guys, he's finally found his calling.
Jovah, I've forgotten, is painting his occupation in Spirit of Justice?
Yes, actually. He's a picture book writer, author of fame.
And people say Yamazaki forgets stuff from older characters.
Yeah, I mean, granted, he has one more job change in Ace Attorney Investigations, but then he changes back to his Lorising in Ace Attorney Investigations 2, which is actually pretty good. Pearls, where could she have gone? Oh.
Well, remember, she was just here possessed by Mia.
Yeah, but normally she would have made a beeline for Maya.
Oh, I'll go look for her. Be right back.
Alright.
Yeah.
Maya's got a burb.
Okay.
Sure.
Oh.
Hey, Billy!
Right. You seem to be uncharacteristically puzzled.
Uncharacteristically? I don't know about that.
I suspect you are wondering how Maya can be so cheerful despite all that has happened. Yeah.
She's going, haha, I'm so happy I killed me.
To be honest, I don't understand it either.
That's because you cannot feel empathy.
Actually, she can as of the finale of Justice for All. That's right, she lost her father fairly recently as well. Yeah, Franziska. I think I understand how she feels losing a parent, you know. DL6.
Yeah.
Maya is a much wiser person than she appears, and I think she realizes something. Now is exactly the time when she needs to be as strong as she can.
What do you mean by now that's exact?
Shiroi, can you not read? Shiroi, can you not read red on a white background?
It's difficult.
So that means...
Shiroi is Godo's
Shiroi is
sister!
Godo?
In fact,
Of course.
there was someone that was hurt far more
my hair
deeply than
is,
she.
my hair is incredibly light, so I'm basically female Godo or some shit. I don't know.
Hey, that
You
can
don't
make for
wear
a
a visor, Shiroi.
that can make for a great cosplay. Someone who was
There's not enough hair gel in the world.
okay, guys. So who could that someone be who was hurt more deeply than Maya during this trial?
I wonder.
I think I'm starting to understand you. Ow!
Then tell me, Phoenix Wright.
I nearly went this game without being whipped. This one case. Oh wait, no, wait, that's right.
What
She
is
whipped
Maya
me
being
earlier.
strong for?
I really wonder. It could be anyone.
Take that!
Okay.
Remember, she heard everything that Dahlia said up until she started channeling Mia. The poor kid. After all, the reason that she worked so hard to follow the instructions was because she loved and believed in her mother Morgan. And then it got revealed that her mother only had her just to try and spite her sister. It's for the good of the Fae clan. I'm sure she believed in every last word.
The greater good.
Poor Pearl. She thought she was doing it for Maya. That's why she was so happy.
Oh well.
It shows how truly devoted she is to Maya, yet she still hasn't told her about that broken urn.
True. Yeah.
Ah well. But it's a cruel irony that it was her exuberance that led to this tragedy. Maya Faye's mother was killed, and Maya herself was put into the deepest peril imaginable. And that's exactly why Maya is putting on a brave face. She's doing it for Pearl's sake, until she can see her smile again.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yay!
You're alive!
So this is where you all were.
Yes.
Well, looks like we got quite the bag. What was that for, sir?
It's just how I say hello. What of it? Sorry about that, Scruffy. You were
It's
in my
how I show
way.
affection.
About that.
You were in my peripheral vision. My whip just seemed to have a mind of
Oh
its own.
gosh, she's like Simon Belmont in Captain N.
What's up, Detective Gumshoe?
Oh, you know, this and that. Anyway, congrats on your win.
There's that victory theme.
Yay. But still no confetti.
Let's go out tonight, pal. Dinner's on me. Wow, really?
Wow, he got that pay raise.
My salary just sorta kinda gone down by a teeny weeny bit, but it's alright.
Never mind,
get
Godo.
paid 1 cent
Never
an
mind,
hour.
Godo did give him the pay cut apparently.
I'm surprised he has any
Told you.
salary left.
I made a reservation in the first class. Oh, no, not that one.
No,
Please.
no.
French
But-
restaurant. Ah!
Pretty good work, Scruffy. That whip was your reward.
So even if you do good, she'll whip you.
Restaurants.
Detective Gumshoe, you said a first-class French restaurant. You don't mean
Trevian, where else?
I'm
Oh.
going to
Oh
die.
god, we're all gonna die.
No wonder we could afford the place.
I knew it. We're doomed. Oh, it's a good
Oh,
way to
well.
go out.
Total party kill.
I know, guys,
Come
we'll just...
on, let's go, everyone. Can't keep Maggie waiting.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That reminds me. He and Maggie are now a couple.
Yay!
About time he got some happiness.
Don't they
That
break
pairing's
up in a
actually
future game though, Jovah?
No, they don't.
Even so, please, thanks for spoiling me in case.
Thankfully, they don't break up. But why would you even suggest that?
Because I thought a future game did that. I don't know.
No.
Pearl and I will be at the whatever.
Losers shack eating potatoes.
You know,
Yeah,
Maya's
what he
taken
says.
an awfully long time to get back. She's still out looking for pearls.
She just got kidnapped, and then this game ends on a cliffhanger.
Oh god.
No, she's just been arrested.
Quest for pearls.
Oh, Maya, what's wrong?
I got arrested for murder again.
Oh, god damn it.
Back
And
to
he-
the
and he
courtroom.
concludes with
Again.
And he concludes with the Seinfeld theme.
Some things never change, eh, Maya? Really, I can't find her anywhere.
Uh-oh. Huh?
Oh god, she's been kidnapped again.
No, wait, when was
Wait,
Pearl?
wasn't she stuck
No,
in
she
it?
got
Wasn't
lost
she
again.
stuck-
I'll bet she just went back home.
Wait a minute. She was just here channeling Mia.
Pearl ran away after she stopped channeling her.
Oh. I thought so too, so I called the village. But no one has heard from her. This has never happened before.
Uh-oh.
But didn't you get separated from her in the last game?
Not for this
Spoiler,
long.
Maya's actually dead.
No, so I think one of the
Yeah.
cases in
Bill's
this game. I
channeling
think.
her right now.
Exactly. As figured. She has been badly hurt by this incident.
She's a small child and she's somewhere on her own. Could somebody, like, go find her?
So, question, Jovah. What changes exactly if you fail to present Pearl's portrait?
I don't know, actually. I've never failed on that. My guess is that they probably just tell you, hey, you idiot, it's supposed to be Pearl.
What if this was her fault? What should I do?
Detective Gumshoe?
Oh, sure. Dump this decision on him.
Yeah, well, what is it, pal?
Well, he is a detective.
True. And he did help us out during Farewell My Turnabout. Could you guys go on ahead?
But what about you?
Maya and I will... We'll join you guys once we find pearls.
Good excuse, Phoenix.
Good one.
Nick.
Maya, just follow me here and we'll escape death by food consumption. Don't worry about us, Detective Gumshoe. We'll be praying for you in the meantime. We may be a little late, but we'll definitely be there.
Don't be late.
Definitely.
Same to you.
Burn. We have a lot of celebrating to do tonight, and I wouldn't miss it.
Yeah, but...
Very well, Phoenix Wright. We'll go on ahead.
So, yeah, she can
So, Franziska's Whip and Gumshoe are going to be spending some quality time together.
Yep.
Jesus.
Don't keep us waiting, right? We won't.
But where should we look? Where could Pilly have gone?
Let's go, Maya. Again, though, wasn't there like some card that Franziska took and she was supposed to show to me or something? Eh. Guess I shouldn't be thinking too hard about it.
Someday, Jovah, someday.
Someday over the court.
Perfect reason for her to bring her back, Yamazaki!
Besides, from what I heard, up until Ace 26, so the killer hasn't showed up yet again, so maybe we want to bring that back.
Well, Jovah, we're
the killer shows up in a future game, too.
Well, Jovah, baby steps. For now, we have to deal with Ace 24's cliffhanger.
We'll get to that when we finally bring that up.
I've heard things about that ending.
Trust me, Shuri, you probably have not heard about the cliffhanger that everyone's waiting for.
No, I haven't.
Let's just say Ace 26 ending promises something.
Okay.
Tio, you're back.
Oh boy.
Shuri?
There's the bikini.
I thought we'd be eating mashed potatoes alone tonight. It's so cold and you eat mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
So, she's here? Pilly is here?
I mean, the gravy on the other night was a good idea. She's in the training hall. Why don't you hurry along and go see her?
My intuition served me right.
Okay.
Whoosh.
Pilly's not here.
I'm sure she's somewhere. Ah!
Oh, the door's unlocked.
Maya!
And,
the hanging
the
scroll.
scroll doesn't have any more gravy on it.
There you go.
Someone cleaned it off.
I wonder who.
It's got to be pearls.
Maybe it was...
Let me guess. Pearls channeled the spirit of Misty, and she cleaned it off on her own.
Maya.
This is...
Probably.
You should never go wandering off like that. That's my job.
Yeah, don't you know? You need at least a Pokemon to go into the tall grass.
Why did you just leave like that? Mystic Maya. Mystic Maya!
Oh.
Da 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 da.
Da-da,
Dun dun dun.
da-da.
I swore that I would never trouble the two of you ever again.
And how long did that swear last?
Well, we found her.
Because it's all my fault and Mystic Maya's mother.
Oh.
Poor Pearls. That's why you came here?
Dad and my mom turns out was psychotic, killer, and my sister was even worse.
It's the least I could do.
Or sorry, cousin.
For happiness. You don't have to do that, Pearly.
You know, kudos to Maya for being able to put on a smile for her cousin despite everything she's gone through this case.
It wasn't your fault. You didn't do anything wrong.
Hell, she even got
Nothing.
accused of murdering her mother for a small part of it.
I didn't do nothing.
Pearl is innocent.
Of course I'm sad that my mother is gone, but how do I say this? I'm still happy.
You know, I just have to wonder, am I, like, lucky that I'm the only one who hasn't had to mention any dead parents?
You don't have to lie to make me feel better. No, really. It's true.
Oh.
I'm amazed that Maya still has some genuine sanity. At all.
It takes strength.
The only reason I'm still here at all is thanks to everyone who was there for me. My
For the
sis,
power of friendship, we overcome all the trouble.
my sis, my mother, Mr. Armando, Nick, and you.
Oh.
If even one of you weren't there, I'm sure I wouldn't still be alive right now.
How about that?
That's why I have to be strong.
You don't mean...
For all the people that were there for me when I needed them. That's all I can really do. Mystic Maya.
Do I need to get the obvious line to Oh. Gio?
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm impressed. You truly are daughter of Mystic Misty. Sorry.
Eavesdropping much?
Should I?
Sister Bikini.
Your mother, Mystic Misty, was a strong woman indeed.
That seems to
how
run.
How come we sound American and yet you sound Italian?
I want to tell you what she said to me that night.
Well,
This is
sometimes
a
they're related.
multicultural country, Dwips.
Yeah, besides, it's not like they're
Yeah.
related.
Forgot who was.
After dishonoring the good name of Karine, I don't have the right to face my daughter. But still, Maya is always in my thoughts. Oh, so I play the dead person. It's true. She'll always be with me until the day I die.
That's right, dude.
Which
You
is-
play Elise/Misty.
Yeah, I'm dead
Your
now.
spirit
So.
was with her. That's why your mother was so strong.
Remember, Maya, you are my daughter and the one true Karine master.
Headcanon. This is Elise in the good future.
Even at the end, I'm sure she had no regrets.
Well, doing it to protect a daughter. How could anyone regret that? She'll always be with me until the day I die, huh?
When did she say that?
In the flashback.
She said it the day she died.
There's a rule or something all masters are to follow, isn't there? To never take the charm off until the day you die.
That's the Master's talisman.
The next one to take this is the Master. The thing that Misty kept by her heart and would never take off.
So that's how Doctor Who decides who the master is.
It wasn't the container that was important. Rather, it was the contents.
That's...
Let's see what's inside.
Your lucky color is blue?
A photo.
Yeah, the ancient Quran photograph. Great.
Waves.
Uh-oh.
Photograph is as old as the end of the 19th century. Come on.
Never.
As you can see the photograph more clearly.
It's only natural for living creatures to fight to protect their own lives.
Welcome to nature with Phoenix Wright.
But what makes us human is that we fight for others.
Welcome to Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, narrated by David Attenborough.
But who do
I'm
you
sure I
fight?
was gonna say that.
But who do you fight for? How
Well, you
hard
spoke
must you
Regiment.
fight?
Well,
That's the
true.
true measure of what human life is
Funny,
worth.
considering Zero was fully reploid. Didn't even add human soul like X.
We defense attorneys are warriors who are constantly challenged by that question.
Mm-hmm.
Aww.
Aw.
Wait a minute.
Oh, I think we've seen this somewhere before.
Even when the battle is over and the bonds that connect us are severed, they broke the jar! Me and Maya broke the jar
That's
all
right.
those years
Turns out
ago!
Will was never to blame.
Well,
was
actually,
there a point where the jar was actually full? Anyway.
yes, apparently, but that jar's been broken so many times now!
Jesus. It's like a rite of passage.
Maybe that's why the family's getting so much bad luck.
Mia,
Maybe.
Maya... Well,
Also,
that...
Chan Maya is so adorable.
Well,
Yes.
that and remember, they're descended from Azura. Of course they're bound for bad luck. And Maya's mother, too.
Alright, be right back.
You know, the sad thing is that by Ace Attorney 6, Maya grows to be older than her sister ever was.
Also, we're actually, for once, seeing Mia in her spirit channeling clothes thingies that actually fit her cup size.
Yep, she was
Yeah.
pretty good at spirit channeling. But then she left to become a lawyer because of DL6!
Ah, have we finally heard the end of DLC?
Nope.
Oh.
We're gonna hear more of it in Ace Attorney Investigations 1 and 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say they don't mention it in Apollo Justice.
Okay,
But they
I was
do
gonna
mention it in Ace Attorney 6 and 5, I believe.
ask. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Again, sure,
Yeah.
DL6 is the reason a lot of everything afterwards comes to be.
But
Oh,
you're supposed to
God,
leave the
lady.
past. You're supposed to leave the past in the past.
And then yeah, I can imagine it now. People are like, "Oh, boy, we got a new head right, so maybe they'll make another thing." Oh,
You
it's
can
still
come
6.
back for training anytime.
Yay!
But just be sure to build a more resistant bridge.
Okay.
Please do build a better bridge. Gumshoe had to do it for you.
Alright. I'm going to make a brand new start too.
And now
From
my
tomorrow, only 2 hot dogs per day.
Sister Bikini, I'll be back for more training. I promise.
and now Maya's finally going to commit herself and become the true master of the Karain channeling technique.
I'm gonna miss
It won't go easy on you just because you're the future master.
Gonna miss what, Shiroi?
I said I'm gonna miss Maya for the next few games.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll make sure to prepare reservation for free for when you come back.
Don't worry, Sherry. You've only got 9 years to wait.
Jesus, that's right.
Alright. We're going to have a great feast today, Pearly.
Debatable. Remember where we're supposed to go.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
no, we're ditching them.
Ma, you worked there for like 2 hours.
You know why? Because training is a battle of endurance.
Of course, that's why it's great for
Maya.
training.
I'll eat lots and lots of food tonight.
And
Well,
that's
then
how
you're very
Pearl
lucky.
died. You know, there's one thing I don't get, and probably don't want to, but
What is it, Nick?
reservations for training is fine and all,
Yes.
but why for free?
Oh god, take a walk, Gas Phoenix. Come on.
I'm sure we're not gonna.
Well, who do you think is paying for the training?
I'm sure we're not gonna
Yeah.
do that usual ending where I somehow end up getting screwed over out of my money now.
You're one of us, Nick. Next time you can train
One of us.
alongside us.
One of us.
What?
One
Huh?
of us.
One of
One
us.
of us.
One of us.
Huh? But I'm not a girl.
I'll be waiting for you.
Are you sure?
It's part of
Sister Bikini will take
just a hobby,
special
it gets
care
blood.
of you.
Wait, are you saying that when me and Iris were doing it, I got some spiritual
Special.
power? Huh?
She transferred it to you, are you?
And yes, we got laid! Goody!
It'll be great, Nick. We're going to do the special course
Oh,
naturally.
of course.
Obviously.
Huh? Huh? Huh?
I like how Phoenix never gets a say in any of this shit.
Shoot, Taco! Oh, whatever. He never listens.
Yeah, you're on the third game now. You should know this.
Yeah. Hey, don't worry, Nick. You won't have to put up with Takumi after this.
True, yeah. You know what? I'm going to transfer all my Takumi problems to, Hey, you, horn-haired kid.
What, me?
Yes, you. You're named after the sun, right? Here, you take the Takumi ball.
What? Who?
The Takumi ball.
You know,
Who the
I
hell's
was
Takumi?
wondering if I can say just one little thing.
I wonder what he's gonna say.
We're not gonna let you finish this sentence. Sure, of course you can.
Oh.
Yeah, Phoenix gets an orgasm every time he has to say objection in a situation
Oh,
like
I love
this.
this part. I can't wait to hear it.
Fuck
I'm getting goosebumps too.
you!
Go on.
Well, then, here goes nothing. Objection! And now, credits theme of the trial opening theme, nonetheless.
Paige, you do this bit because it goes by.
Yep.
Sure. Master of Crane and the office manager of Wright and Co-Office, and I had to be a good big sister to Pearly and Nick too. Well, as long as I'm not locked up or captured or something like that.
You just now have gotten aware of this, Maya.
Well, better late than never.
Yeah.
I'm sure this will never happen to her again.
So it's true. Mr. Nick really is missing Maya's knight in shining armor.
About that,
the special
Pearl.
course all the way to the end. Actually, I heard there's a legendary extra special ultra course here too.
Unfortunately,
I think I'll surprise the two of them by making
It's
them
called
a secret
Dante Must
reservation.
Die mode.
unfortunately, Pearly, this case ruined your ship.
Yeah, about that. About that. That's gonna get mentioned, actually.
Oh, goody. Maggie bought me a brand new coat as a present, pal.
Aw.
You're 10 years younger. I'll never take it off.
Yes, but somehow you just don't seem the same. I guess a dirty, shabby old overcoat is just more detective-like, sir.
Don't worry about it. In the name of the law, a man will soil himself silly.
Aw, Gumshoe finally found love.
Aw.
Hey,
And
he
a
did it.
decent person too.
Yep.
Now, if only Anna
Oh,
could
hi,
find,
Adrian.
could finally find love as well.
Mr. Wright, I am once again in your debt. Thanks to you, the Treasures of Karain exhibit was a great success. I even got to see Miss Von Karma, who I hadn't seen for almost a year. She taught me how to use a whip, so that I must show you when I'm
What did she teach you exactly?
Shipping intensifies.
Well, that's actually one of the most popular ships in this
What?
series.
I mean, can you blame it?
Phoenix, Desi and I started a company called Mask Stardom Mask Consulting.
We're
We're
dedicated
dedicated.
to
That's a- We're dedicated. Whatever.
Our motto is cut it out, please! Well, we also sell plants to the criminals as a kind of side business. I wonder if that's okay. Sometimes I think maybe we're the worst criminals. Nah, we're doing it
Just
in the
a
name and I'm
passing
still a
thought.
superhero, dang it.
Oh, I have Yoda. I might as well. Mr. Wright, I want to thank you for exterminating Tigre. I returned the special fig tea, what I mixed with my own two hands.
Uh-oh.
I bet he's drinking it now. Win through compromise.
Rest in peace, Furio Tigre.
Yeah. Good.
Extra
Although,
fig.
are any of us gonna actually convict her for this?
Well, he's already arrested.
I'm just throwing in the way. A wrinkly, grumpy clown, no sweet stuff for us. At least that's what I thought. When my grandkids had a birthday party for me the other day. Talking about
Aww.
embarrassment. 69 years old and I cried like a baby with a dirty diaper.
Aww, people do appreciate you, old man.
Also,
Also,
Believe me
hi,
when I say
Noriyuki, you
69
are there.
is not that high.
As usual, we have an abundance of work to do. We've hired a new programmer to replace Glenn Elg. I do hope everyone will get along. His name is Adam Manda.
Are we supposed to know him?
Basically,
Is he like a joke based on one of the developers?
Remember, like Glenn Elg, Adam
His
Manda.
name.
Yeah, basically Adam Manda. It's his name spelled front and backwards, just like Glenn Elg.
Okay, palindrome. My, more reporters. Since the murder, we've made so much money, I hardly know what to do.
That's
I think
right.
The magazines like us, because they provide such a nice visual, especially in spring. I can only wait for Ice to come back.
That's right. Now, thanks to this case, spirit channeling has gotten its dignity back.
Okay, who's next?
Special
I think
thanks.
that's all. Oh no, wait, good
No,
order.
there's a bit more.
Hi, Iris.
You've turned into such a respectable man, Beanie. It was so sweet of you and everyone else to come and visit me here the other day. Of course, I was happy that you constantly had your eyes on me, but I felt kind of bad when the little one slapped you so hard you got a nosebleed. That's right, they're in love. That's
When I shone, you placed your eyes on me.
Objection! And now for the voices.
Sorry.
Phoenix Wright, Ben, Grom, and Judd.
What the
Hey,
fuck
better
is a
not me.
grommet?
Objection! Miles Edgeworth, Sean King. Mia. Christina Catano.
Christina Catano.
Me.
Dodo, played by James C. Wilson, but Hideki Kamiya in the Japanese version. I love how the animation for him throwing his coffee mug in the end. And of course, Franziska, played by Janet Sue, who's the official leader of the localization team ever since the second game.
It's a very Chris Lip.
A+ to everyone getting off these wonderful sounding objections. Apparently it took them each a long time, and Pedro, you're up.
Oh boy.
What's this? I'm back from a long and tired vacation and no one is here to greet me? I guess while I was gone, my persniper buddy quit. Now, what kind of lonely, crazy security room is this supposed to be anyway? What's all the flashing lights and switches? I'm going to do with all these machines with macadamia.
Wow, you actually managed to read that one.
Jeez.
The various actresses they get to play her in like the stage plays and the musicals do a really good job.
Yeah, I've got a bit of a fun fact actually about her cameo.
I finally found something I love to do. Francie's whip splash is gonna be I should have realized it sooner. Self-centered, lazy, antisocial. I'm an artist. A really good portrait artist. I'm not a loser at all.
He finally found something he's good at.
Kami is one of the executive producer. Nice.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, this drawing was made by Larry. He's actually getting good, I'd say.
Hey, why don't I get a credit scene?
Because you're one of the prosecutors, and they never seem to get that in here.
But my brother's a prosecutor and he got a credit scene.
No, he didn't. Godo didn't get one.
I don't believe Larry drew those.
No, he did. Just be sure. He gets better. He gets better.
I think he becomes an author.
From Capcom.
Capcom.
So,
alright, guys.
So basically,
try to keep your thoughts a bit short for the sake of being able to squeeze. Not long enough.
Here's the thing. So let me ask my first two questions first.
Sure, go ahead.
Jovah. Okay. First, if I understand correctly, Misty channeled Dahlia in order for her to avoid Pearl actually channeling her, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then my second question is this. Okay, we know how I actually went, but considering the state he was with his eyesight and everything, how did Godo manage to prepare and correctly launch the whole pendulum thing?
Oh, well, the rope just happened to be there because it was singed off from the bridge, so then he...
But he needed to... Well, he had that terrible eyesight in that case. How would manage to calculate everything?
Hold on. He's able to see with his visor, though. Like, I mean,
Remember, there's only certain things he can't see.
Yeah.
I get, but he was injured by, like, minutes or something. I take that he was in a better shape than we found in next.
Here's how it went, Teal. He was not struck in the eyes, in case that's what you're thinking. He was struck on the face, but he was not struck in the eyes. He was struck on the face. He was still able to see with his visor.
Okay, all right.
So now I might as well
struck on the side of the head or something.
All right, go ahead.
So now I might as well bring up my fun fact about this. As I've said before, Trials and Tribulations put everything they could possibly fit onto the Game Boy Advance cartridge. Originally, Oldbeg was supposed to actually be included in the second case, but they couldn't fit her in. So they fit her in as a little fourth wall gag for the credits.
Well, technically, we get the sort of reference doing the stolen turnabout, so...
Yeah, basically, though, she was originally supposed to actually actively be there, but they couldn't fit her in enough because Game Boy Advance cartridge, and this was running it to its absolute max. And now you know why she shows up at the credits.
Huh.
Yeah, she was a delete. Yeah. So sorry, Wendy. You were deleted.
All right, so
yeah,
final
okay.
thoughts?
Sure.
Can I go
How
first?
would you like? Okay, Dwibs, you go first.
Okay. Well, except the third case, I really like this game.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, I really don't have much to say. Although, again, my only other gripe is that really, some of the music wasn't really all that impressive. Iwadare could do and did do much better.
Yeah. This is this is not his strongest soundtrack.
The best pieces, like in terms of musical pieces, are the character themes.
Oh yeah. Oh, and don't forget the trial opening theme.
Also, I like the specific cornered theme objection theme that's used in the final case, the one that gets an orchestra rearrangement in Dual Destinies.
Well, the Dual Destinies the Dual Destinies court beginning ones. Well, I mean, when the trial actually starts.
No, I'm the objection theme.
All right.
All right.
So yeah, aside from a only half decent soundtrack and the other problem I mentioned, case 3. I like this game.
Right.
That's it. The end. Next.
I'll go next, actually. Yeah, this is definitely quite possibly my favorite Ace Attorney game. First of all, I love how it mixes things up so great. Like, okay, at this point, the standard of first cases hadn't exactly been the best, but here, they shoot it through the roof. Like, that's the best thing about this case. Every single one of these cases leaves you wanting more. I mean, yeah, some people maybe don't care for case 3, but again, this case 3, though, was the one that actually got for cases to not suck, by the majority of people talking. Not to say Turnabout Samurai wasn't good, but compared to this one, it's not quite as good, I'd say.
And Spirit Justice completely destroyed that.
Yes, I have to agree, actually. Spirit of Justice has my new favorite third case, but we'll talk about that bout of awesomeness when we get to it. But yeah, this game, though, I love the music. Noriyuki Iwadare, I'll admit, he does have a few better tracks to come down the line, but some of my favorite tracks under him are here, like the remix of Cornered. Like, at the end, that's amazing. The trial opening theme. And of course, as Shuri said, the character themes. This is pretty much the game that started the idea of having character themes when you get down to it, outside of prosecutor and defense attorney stuff. That was great. And of course, the trial opening theme to this day is still my favorite. I actually do like the cross-examination themes and the tell the truth themes as well. Yeah. Like I said, the first case is such a great time when we finally get to see Mia doing some proper lawyering work here. Like, okay, I guess I can get in hindsight that her development kind of got squandered on the first game being a first game, and the second game not being more focusing on Phoenix than her. But they finally gave her a character we can root for here in this game, and it's done actually rather well. And Dahlia. My god, Dahlia is such a fantastic villain to hate, and it's such a satisfying one to take down. And, yeah. That's the first case. The second case, I love because it completely screws with your expectations once again. Usually in the second case, you expect, oh, murder, and Maya's gonna be the defendant. Not only was Maya not the defendant, she's actually the victim of a case that's not murder. Go figure. We actually got to solve that case that didn't include murder, and yeah, we do have our murder trial even still, but even then, we found out that the villain was using it as a ploy to escape the murder one. Like, that's one of the most brilliant villains I can think of. And then, of course, comes the third case, which I honestly like. I mean, I still find it the second best third case of the main series, and while I do admit some things are a bit silly, what with Fairy Tigre managing to fool the court, I do like how it ups the stakes to the point where we're literally saving the world against our evil copy, and the way we take him down again is a nice, new, and clever way, literally tricking him into admitting it. That I actually do enjoy.
Well, he wasn't exactly the smartest person to begin with.
He had it going, actually, surprisingly, but then his arrogance got him done in. And then the fourth case. Tragedy. That's all I'm going to say, tragedy. Also, Diego Armando is surprisingly very, very comforting in Mia's darkest moments.
Japan is very good at their tragedy stories.
Yeah, I mean, the fourth case is such a great way of showing how evil Dahlia is, and also showing just how many lives she started to ruin, including Diego Armando, a guy who started off nice and everything, but then is turned into a cold, bitter man. I'll talk more about that when I get to the fifth case. And yeah, the fifth and final case. The reason that a lot of people do like Godo is that you're not actually forced to feel sorry for him, unlike, say, Acro from Turnabout Big Top. With Godo, it's a bit more of an ambiguous stance, but here's sort of a thing. Like Descalay, he was perfectly fine, but then this one incident leads to another and another that eventually makes him lose everything. He's put into a coma, near death, and when he wakes up, he finds out that the love of his life is dead, the one woman he wanted revenge against is pretty much on death row, and, well, all he's got left is coffee. I mean, yeah, I'll admit, when you get, which sort of explains his coffee addiction in a rather sad and tragic way, god dang it.
For him.
Yeah, I mean, look,
If coffee were the only drink left in the world, I'd probably be crying too.
Yeah. Basically, though, Godo is quite possibly one of the best done tragic figures, I'd say. You're not always meant to feel sorry for him. What you're meant to do is actually notice just how terrible everything involved was that turned him into the man that it is. Think of it like Harvey Dent. I mean, yeah, you obviously don't feel entirely sorry for the man for what he does, but you do feel sorry for what he was and what he was turned into. And that, I feel, is done expertly with Godo. And who knows? I mean, honestly, it's up to you. Did he really try to save Maya to right the wrongs, or did he do it just for himself? Either way, though, he did end up doing the right thing, actually trying to save Maya from being murdered, go figure. And
I get that, but, I mean, compared to similar characters, I mean, I think he just caused a lot of needless hassle for everyone.
Yeah, and not just that, Jovah. I was going to save it for my final thoughts, but might as well say there now, Jovah. Honestly, Jovah, even if the whole thing about not necessarily feeling sorry, here's the thing. I don't really care about Godo. There's
Neither
the thing.
do I, really.
And there's also the fact that he is basically an attention whore. He desperately calls to be noticed, and I'm sorry, it's not fucking working on me.
And also, really, all I remember him doing most of the time is being petty and calling Phoenix that one petty nickname, Trite.
Don't forget condescending.
That's why I love Simon Blackwell so much.
Yeah. I mean,
I haven't seen it yet, so technically speaking, on my part, my favorite prosecutor still remains Francisca.
Yeah.
I mean, other than that backstory, what does Godo have? He's bitter. He likes coffee. He calls Phoenix a petty.
And he possesses technology that we haven't seen before. It's like
I'll bring up my problem.
Like Jaden in Heavy Rain.
Yeah. I will say, though, that I do agree. Okay, I will say this, though. I do see where you guys are coming from, and I will say that I won't be surprised if you don't end up liking him by the end. But again, again, though, that's one thing I can respect about this. Even the writers respect the fact that Godo is not going to necessarily be liked. It's like, well, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to write Godo as some character you're supposed to absolutely feel sorry for, or some or some tragic character who just because he has a tragic backstory, you're supposed to feel sorry for. No. What I say is like, well, I actually do like that they had the balls to go through with this character and actually bring up the possibility that maybe he isn't likable. Like, despite his tragedy, it just starts to show, even though Dolly is the biggest bad, he still himself is kind of the bad guy. But the game still respects that. And that's what I think of me and a lot of people like about Godo. Not so much as popularity in and of itself, though trust me, there are probably going to be a lot of fans about that too. Hence the TV tropes topic, Draco and leather pants. But at the end, I do respect that Godo fulfills his role well. Maybe not as a prosecutor, but as an antagonist of sorts. And basically that, in conclusion, I dare say that this is definitely a contender for my absolute favorite Ace Attorney game. It's tied with the first game, Ace Attorney Investigations 2, Ace Attorney 5, and Ace Attorney 6. Okay, Shiroi, you go next.
Sure. Well, again, aside from, well, one good thing I didn't really like the third case either. It wasn't big top bad. It's just one of those cases that exists. You know, that was a thing that happened, then you move on.
It's mainly meant to foreshadow Godo's whole can't see red on a white background thing, too.
And I did like, is it Violetta?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did like her, but she seems to be the favorite for a lot of people out of that one. It's a shame that she wasn't around more, though. As for the final case, I still say that Farewell My Turnabout is still my favorite Ace Attorney case up to this point, and I blame Godo for that, because the whole thing about, I get what you're saying, that maybe we aren't meant to feel sorry for him, but they made him such a big deal, and I feel like they should have done this with a different character, you know, somebody we're more familiar with, maybe from a previous, maybe from Justice for All or all the way back from the beginning, because with Godo, we were force-fed too much too quickly. It was a bit too overwhelming, and I feel like it fell flat on its face.
I honestly
at the
would have
end.
preferred if Luke Acme was the final boss link.
Yeah, I know. Especially...
Luke at me, and you never saw me coming, did you?
It's funny. It's funny because in some ways, Luke Acme is considered tragic.
I'll spare that for my fan thoughts. Go on.
Yeah, but the reason why Farewell My Turnabout is still my favorite, because it purely involved characters who we all knew and loved. I mean, yes, there was Adrian, who was only there specifically for that case, but even though I did feel bad for her, the reason that I, for the most part, felt bad for her was because of Phoenix, you know, his moral dilemma of having to choose between letting an innocent person die or letting his best friend die. And I feel like there was a lot of genuine conflict, and you can see Phoenix, you know, his moral compass just going out of whack. You know, it was entirely around characters that we were very familiar with. With this case, it wasn't for the most part because of Godo. I feel like if they did it with someone else, then Bridge to My Turnabout would have been my favorite. I feel like Godo's the biggest problem here.
I get the feeling that also maybe you were kind of a victim of being overhyped about Godo from the fan base too.
No, not really. Because when it comes to people listing their favorite characters, I mean, most people don't really go into spoilers that much, which is a good thing. He was never really hyped up, honestly, but I think he wasn't really hyped up by the fandom. He was hyped up more so by the game itself. And
that.
And again, we were just force-fed too much too quickly. But aside from that, the final case was wonderful. I mean, the cases in this game are, you know, some of the most epic from what we've seen so far. I feel like the first Ace Attorney game is a lot more coherent, despite Rise from the Ashes. But this was still a great game, and the soundtrack's pretty decent. Again, there were a few tracks I really liked, like the Objection theme and the character themes, but Ace Attorney 1 soundtrack is still one of my favorites. Probably, since I haven't heard anyone past that yet, it's probably tied with Apollo Justice at the moment.
just wait for Ace Attorneys 5 and 6. Norikyo Adiri ain't done yet. Oh, that reminds me, also Ace Attorney Investigations 2. Basically, from this point on, though, except for, I think, Ace Attorney 4, Noriyuki Iwadare will become the sole composer for the Ace Attorney series.
And overall, really, despite everything, like, despite me bitching about Godo for a little bit, this was a great way to end what was then to be the trilogy.
And the series in general.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was a perfect finale for the trilogy, I think, where, you know, everyone's character arcs were pretty much closed off at that point. So.
Except for that goddamn card, Franziska!
Yeah, can we get that back? I know we don't see her again at all.
Well, we see her in Investigations.
Yeah, but I want
no
her in a
Phoenix there.
Yeah, sorry, Shiri, but Franziska, along with
Gumshoe,
along with Gumshoe and Iris, have been dragged by Yamazaki to the same dungeon that Ubisoft wants Cadell Michelle Ansel to.
Oh, that reminds me, Iris, I'm gonna bring up some more stuff after you guys' final thoughts, but yeah, that too.
Yeah, no, I'm just about done. I'll say that the first Ace Attorney game is still my favorite.
Fair enough.
Yeah, overall, this was a great game. It is my second favorite easily, and also, yeah, Dahlia was
a bitch.
She was
Dahlia was a great villain.
It's like, hey, you thought Manfred von Karma was evil? You thought Damon Gant was corrupt? You thought Matt on Guard was sinister? Step aside.
I get it. She's actually made from the DNA of all three of those in some weird experiment. And now we have the spawn of all that is unholy.
That would make so much sense. So curious.
But yeah, no, she was great. But yeah, go ahead.
So curious, how would you rank the cases in this game from best to worst?
The third one being the worst.
Fair enough. It's tough, isn't it? Because
it is difficult.
Yeah.
No, I'll have to come back to you on that one. So that I'm done. This was a great game.
All right, Tio.
Well, can Pedro go before me, since I'm technically the only one who knew nothing about this game before getting onto it? Oh, sorry. All right, then I'll start.
No, I can start. Don't worry.
Oh, okay, then Pedro, go on.
Anyway, yeah, okay. But for the most part, you can just quote what Jovah said. I actually do side with Jovah when it comes to the ambiguity regarding Godo. I do, however, agree with the fact that Godo, while I do like him as a character, I don't really care for him as a prosecutor, because as a prosecutor, like Dwebs pointed out, he most of the time he's not even making arguments. He's just being an asshole and just, oh, prove that. Oh, prove it then. Do you have any proof? Do you have any, let's just say Simon Blackwell is a much better new prosecutor in terms of being
that reminds me, it's funny how you mentioned Dahlia being the amalgamation of villains. Simon Blackwell's kind of an amalgamation of prosecutors, I'd say.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, aside from that, we can pretty much quote what Jovah said. I still think it's an awesome game. I do like 5 and 6 better. Oh no, someone who likes 5 and 6 over 3, sacrilege. Anyway,
you like a Yamazaki thing more than the Takumi thing? Burn!
Actually, Dribs, that's surprisingly become a popular thing ever since Ace Attorney Investigations 2 finally got its fan translation done.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. I think it's an awesome game. Personally, I don't really mind Case Free. Honestly, I think it's fine enough. It's not great by any means, but I still think Case Free is harmless, honestly.
Yeah.
As for the rest, yeah, it's pretty awesome. Like I said, I just wish Godo was a much more interesting prosecutor. Like Shiro said, we were told we could have maybe had more told of him over the course of the game instead of just telling everything at the end. Anyway, that's about it. Go ahead, too.
All right, Jovah, I'll start immediately by saying what you asked before about the classification of the cases. In my case, it's from the least favorite to the most favorite.
All right.
Third, fourth, first, fifth, second.
Got it.
Yeah, overall I like it. I enjoyed it, but I still prefer Justice for All overall, mostly for different reasons. There's just one thing, but it seems that each single case in this godforsaken franchise has just something that manages to tick me off. There's not like a single perfect case that manages to, come full clean and everything. There must be something that has to piss me off. The one that came closest to be as possible to me is case 2/4, where the only thing that honestly pissed me off was the fact that Phoenix was not being able to recognize the killer when he was posing as Madengar's butler, but I'm digressing. Here in this game, it seems there are so many good things in pretty much all cases, but there is just something that sets me back. Like, for example, in the fourth case, it's the fact that establishes again, Dahlia's whole evilness and shit, and the fact that Mia had a very terrible start, and the fact that Godot's persona was permanently altered by this. But I still stand on my point that honestly, to me, with just a bit of modification, it should have been the actual first case of the game. Because again, the pacing, while it still manages to stay consistent, the pacing to me feels still a bit off because of this.
My guess is that the reason is because they want to.
Also, keep in mind, compared to the other cases, case 4 is short. It doesn't have you don't have a lot to think about. It's mostly for narrative purposes, even more so than the other cases. While it's good on its own, it's always good to fill in the gaps. Ultimately, it could have been just something that it could have learned earlier or something. It's not like you're throwing these big revelations that we didn't know. Like, yeah, the only thing it would have been the fact that Godot was Mia's mentor, but I guess it could have been a twist that you could have showed it at any point and everyone would have guessed anyway. Also, first case with Grossberg mentioning hemorrhoids every 5 seconds. Very classic. I like overall the fact that the third case ties in and everything, but even as a conclusion, I still prefer Justice for All because it brings more closure to everything and it ultimately gives more satisfaction even in regards to Francisca, which is again regarded as my favorite prosecutor, at least so far. I really want to see what Simon Blackwood is all about. Yep. So overall, I'd say this one is slightly worse to me than Justice for All, but still higher and a bit better than the first game.
Makes sense. I mean,
and also, I think I forgot to mention. There you go. The fact, another thing, the only thing that ticks me off about Case 2, the Stolen Tournament, is the fact they completely wasted a good character like Liu Kang. I swear, it should have been a regular, and you wasted like that.
I'm gonna agree. You know, it's funny you mentioned that. Yeah, Luke at me being a potential character that got wasted away because.
And it's not like you should have altered anything. You could have just stopped at the fact that he would have been actually the thief of the actual stealing. Okay, then it would have been done. It would have been a minor crime. It would have been in jail for a couple of times, and then you could have bring him back in another title. But here, murder. So. Off.
I know exactly how you feel. I mean, not only did I feel that way about Luke Acme, let's just say there's a certain character in the third case of Apollo Justice that kind of gets wasted because of that. Pedro knows what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's pretty much it for me.
Okay, then.
Still a good experience over.
Okay then, so yeah, time for me to wrap up things a bit. Yeah, one thing you may have noticed is that there are a few running themes through this game. One of them is, of course, the fact that every case establishes a canon relationship. Like, the first case established Phoenix and Dahlia, who turned out to really be Iris. The second case establishes Ron and his lovely wife Desiree. The third case establishes Gumshoe and Maggie. The fourth case establishes Mia and Diego. And, of course, the fifth case finally establishes Phoenix with his canon relationship, Iris. And that's how I met your mother, Trucy.
And I thought, I've honestly, Jovah, I thought the fourth case highlighted the canon relationship between Godot and coffee.
But he doesn't drink coffee that much in the fourth case as he does overall.
Well, he drank it, though.
Wouldn't that be every case? Well, cases 2, 3, and 5?
He's drinking his pain away.
Basically, though, yeah, that's another theme. But there's also another cool theme. The theme of masks and hiding behind disguises. In the first case, you have Dahlia hiding behind the facade that Iris created for her. In the second case, you have Luke Atme hiding behind the mask of Mask to hide his true role as murderer. In the third case, you have Furio Tigre using the ever-clever mask of Phoenix Wright. And, of course, in the fourth case, you have...
somehow everyone bought.
Yeah, and in the fourth case, you have Dahlia once again wielding her ever-charming masked face, started. And then in the fifth case, you have Dahlia once again using Iris's mask. And of course...
If you mean Snake Charming, then sure.
And of course, the final evidence is behind Godo's own mask. That's a nice bit of theming I do like. Shu Takumi is definitely at his best when he has a common theme going for these games.
Jovah, it goes back to the whole revealing the truth and people should be honest thing.
Oh, I get that, but the thing is, like, well, this one focuses mainly on the truth and deception behind that of a mask, whereas Justice for All focused more solely on, I'd say, getting the right people found guilty, no matter how much you liked them or not.
Alright, then.
But yeah, honestly, I'd say that, yeah, one thing this game definitely does the best is definitely its sense of theming and staying consistent. That doesn't make it the best game, but it's definitely the best at being consistent, I'd say. Oh yeah, and also, again, the measures they go to fit in everything they possibly could is also admirable. So, guys, this is the end of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. By the way, dear Professor, I found out that the woman I thought loved me is still alive. We should double date at some point. Signed, Phoenix Wright.
I'm not dating you, Trite.
Where did you learn that stupid nickname?
Anyway, let's
a friend of mine told me.
So yeah,
see ya for Apollo Justice.